Hello, fellow Lenormand junkies. Someone asked me a tree question the other day and it sparked an idea for a video, so here it is. The tree card is one of the confusing cards for new readers because the traditional method of distance and the Philippe Lenormand instructions that came with, accompanied every early deck state that the tree references good health when far, so you don't want it near, right? So new readers began to panic whenever it was near or landed in a small spread because small spread cards are considered near, right? The rest of the deck is considered far. Therefore, as with a few other cards, they started to change the tree or sugarcoat it, right? But I'm here to tell you that there's no need to sugarcoat or change the meaning of the tree. The tree does not refer to unhealth or illness. It simply refers to well-being. When near, it's telling you that something requires your attention. Some aspect of the whole is being overlooked or needs care to return to a balanced state. The fact that we typically refer to it as a card for health is in itself a bit misleading because the word health has come to refer to being free from illness when the word actually refers to one's mental or physical state or condition, whatever that may be. I mean, there's good health and there's bad health, right? So I'd like to replace the word health with the word wellness, because well-being is always our goal. Wellness is the active pursuit of well-being. And we can loosely define well-being as the state of being happy, healthy, comfortable, and prosperous. So if you consider all of that, you know that this tree references a lot more than just physical health. So I guess we could call it the welfare card, but at least here in the US that would totally mess everybody up. So we're not going to call it the welfare card. All right, so the tree, when near, draws our attention to the wellness of someone or something. I mean, cards don't show up just to say, keep moving, folks, nothing to see here, right? They show up to draw our attention to something. So, is the tree the card of growth? Yes, but it refers to slow growth and the ripening and maturing of something which takes time and is dependent upon the environment and whether or not one's needs are being met. Is the tree card, the card of thriving? No, it's the card of striving to thrive. That's right in my book, by the way. Oh, here's my book. Okay, so, I have a very thorough, I have a thorough section on every card, but as you can see, I have a very thorough section on the tree. Okay, is the tree the card of good health? No, it's the card of every living thing's attempt to reach or maintain good health, or better said, the pursuit of well-being. So that takes us back to calling it the wellness card. Does the tree card refer to being rooted? Yes. Now think about what being rooted means. Being rooted infers immobility, inertia, inflexibility, endurance, and things that are long-lasting, staying power, or boredom. Now you're thinking, well, there's such a mix in there. I mean, some of those sound great and others not so great, right? Well, how do you decide? By the surrounding cards and whatever makes sense within the context of the reading. That is the Petit Lenormand system. Okay. Now the tree is a holistic card in that it all interconnected parts or facets of something must be considered. All right, that's what makes it the card of things holistic. Okay, it may suggest that balance is needed or that you should be striving to reach equilibrium in some way. The tree is the organic and natural card in that it references that which happens or develops naturally over time, without being forced or planned. Now consider when it falls when you're asking about a personal relationship. It may reference slow growth which may indicate boredom or dullness or a need for patience, right? Like if somebody isn't ready to jump in to a relationship. It may indicate an imbalance. Also consider that when asking about personal relationships, the tree is looking at the long term. All right? Is there physical attraction between the two of you, but you can't stand each other's friends and family? Well, then the tree card may show up. Are one or both people tentative about beginning a new relationship? Then the tree card may show up. This is a good one. Are you under the delusion that passion is all you need and that your love will change all the things you don't like about the other person? I would say the tree card will definitely show up then. All right, so enough about relationships. What about in a work question? Well, if it shows up near your work card in a tableau or in a small spread when you're asking about work, well, then some aspect needs assistance. What are you overlooking? What is stuck in a state of inertia? What needs time to mature? You want to think of all those things. And yes, for a health question, some aspect of the seeker's health needs attention when it is near. What is it? Well, the answer will always lie in the surrounding cards. Now, I know we're going to get to all these decks in a second, but let's consider the effect the tree has on the cards that touch it in a tableau. I don't want to mess this up, but yeah, I think I can just say this without showing you. Okay, so the card that sits directly below the tree is said to be drained by the tree's roots. It's being drained of its energy. Okay, it's not being drained of life, it's just being drained of its energy. Okay, this isn't the coffin, it's the tree. The flanking cards are said to be shaded, right? So shading stunts growth, right? Shading is you're not receiving the energy of any positive cards above, right? Because it's shaded. It's kind of like the clouds blocking the sun, right? Now the card that sits directly above the tree is still touching it and therefore affected by it, but you could say that that card is kind of rising above. I mean, it is the best position. The card above any card of you're concerned with, the card sitting above is definitely in the best position. All right. Now remember that when far from the seeker, wellness is no concern at the moment, and by at the moment I mean during the time frame of the spread. But we still look at what cards the tree is touching. Are there any life area cards there? Now later this week when I do the next video for Kronos and Rhea, you're going to understand exactly what I mean by that, because we will look at the or maybe not the next video, it's the video after. There's 2 more videos in that series. Okay, anyway, when we look at the tree card, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's look at all of these decks. Now, I want to do these last. Okay, so this is my traditional tree. The original tree cards were just a tree. It doesn't really make you think of anything but a tree, right? This is the Lilac Dundorf. I use this a lot. Let me show you Alexander Danilov's Lenormand deck. I really like this tree because it shows different aspects of wellness, we could say, right? It's got winter, fall, spring, and summer. So you could say, this is growth over here and this is inertia over here. I mean, it has all the different, it doesn't lead you one way or the other is what I'm saying. So I do really like that tree card. And then we have, the Celtic Lenormand is one of my decks that I use. I use this a lot in animal readings, but it's a cute deck, and I really like this deck. And Chloe McCracken did create some extra cards for this deck because she was trying to accommodate modern readers who see things differently, right? But we can look at her 2 tree cards, and you can see that it's like a summer and a winter, right? But what is this making you think of? This is the time of growth. This is the time of hibernation or inertia, right? So if you're a person that uses extra cards in your readings, when you have both there. Okay, and then of course this is the Mystical Lenormand, and I like this tree. This is just a simple tree, but it does kind of make you think of, you know, everything's great, everything's growing, everything's healthy, because you got the bunnies down here in the green grass. And oh, look at all the birds in the tree. Oh, you know what? There's even a partridge. Are there pears? No, I don't see any pears. I thought it was a partridge in a pear tree, but whatever. I like this card though. Okay. Okay, the Lunar Nomad. I am going to do a deck review video on this deck because it's a really interesting deck. The only reason you never see me use it is look how big it is. Wait, hang on. This is a standard size. I don't have any mini decks here because I wish I had all three. You know what? I do in another video, don't I? Yeah, I think I do, where I show this card and a standard and then a mini. But you can see how huge it is. I mean, I can't even imagine laying a grand tableau with this deck. But the cards aren't really suitable for a grand tableau anyway. But it's beautiful. And this is actually the artwork, the image of this tree is my favorite. This is my favorite tree card based on the artwork. I love this tree card. But I do want to do a deck review because it's an interesting deck and he's got a really interesting book. So I will make a video on that. And then we have, oh, here we go. So we have the Mirror Truth deck, and the little white book is pretty cool in this deck. It's I think there may be some differences, but for the most part, it's pretty traditional. And it's a nice looking deck, but let me move you so I can show you. But there are reasons why I don't use it. It's too busy for videos, and because I'm primarily a grand tableau reader, you can see why I can't use this. Let me just, I'm going to adjust the camera in a minute, but let me just lay these out here. Oh my gosh, my hands aren't working. Come here, you. All right, let me see. Do we have all that in there? No, it's all in the screen. Okay. I don't know. How easily can you find the tree card? How easily can you find the tree card? Imagine a grand tableau where you need to just flow and you need to immediately recognize every card. Can you find the tree card? Okay, well, you know, yeah, you're looking for the word, aren't you? But this is the tree card. The crossroads looks too much like the tree card. The rider looks too much like the tree card. Even the lady and gentleman look like a tree card. And then, of course, all these other cards have trees. I mean, you can obviously see a keyhole, but there's a tree. Side, you can definitely see the side, but there's a tree. Snake, but tree. Clouds, tree. Heart, tree. So that's why I don't use this deck. But you know, it's nice. And like I said, I like the book, so you might want to buy that. Let's see which one. Okay. All right. These are the two that have incorrect phrases. All right. So this deck, this was one of the very first decks I got before I even knew what Lenormand was, because I started with Oracle cards. The fairy tale fortune cards. As you can see, Lenormand isn't even in the name of the deck, but it's definitely a Lenormand deck. But the tree card says, the tree, vitality and growth, bless your project. So that's basically telling you if it shows up in a small spread or it's near, that everything is growing and healthy and wonderful. So that's backwards. And so is this, the bluebird Lenormand, which I definitely talked about in another video. Maybe this one is wrong because this one is wrong. This one says, one tree from earth is best to see, it springs from birth, good health for thee. And if the tree should reappear close to the querent, your goal is near. So backwards. One tree is best to see. Nope, that's backwards. The instructions clearly state that you want to see multiple trees together, and it's saying your goal is near if it should appear near, and that's backwards too. Or close to the querent, your goal is near. Yeah, it's backwards. There are other cards that are backwards in here too, but this one is definitely, and it's a popular deck. I mean, U.S. Games makes it, right? But yeah, you have to, if you want to use this deck, just ignore the verses on there, and you'll be fine. Wait, let's look at this one again. I love this card. Okay, so that's it for today, my friends. Yeah, stay tuned for, I'm going to actually do 2 more videos this week. So for now, go play with your cards. Bye, everybody.